Now look here, folks. I am sick and goddamn tired of all these goddamn internet atheists all over the goddamn Twitter and the YouTubes with all their facts and their science and their evolution, and they're trying to say, oh, look, we found all this evidence that this ain't real, and they ain't got none. Show me one time where any atheist has ever produced any proof or evidence that atheism is true and correct. They haven't done it, they can't do it, they won't do it, and they can't do it. That's all I'm trying to say, folks. And I don't understand why they don't accept Jesus in their heart when they know it's real. Most of them done read the Bible. You can talk to them, you know they done read the Bible. They know the Bible verses better than you or I. It's crazy. I don't understand how somebody who knows the Bible better than you and me can sit there and say that they don't believe in it. I mean, it says right in there. I got it right here. It says right in there that Jesus is the answer and the light and the way. It says everything you need to say. And I got the Bible here and I read it, and I learn everything I need to know from Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And if you want to know God's honest truth, Luke's my favorite of the four. But that's neither here nor there. What is here nor there is all these atheists up there running their mouths. What makes them think that their facts are any better than my facts? I got a whole book of facts right here, a whole big old book of facts. And then they got all them scientists telling them what to think, with your Neil deGrasse Tyson and your Bill Nye, your Lawrence Krauss and your Richard Dawkins and them folk. And you don't know. There ain't no way for one scientist to know if what another scientist said is real or not. They're just taking each other's word for it. It's a big old cocksuck up there in the scientist community. They got this room up in the tower, and they all sit there together, and they tell each other stories they made up, and then they believe it, and they write all these books, and they call that peer review. Now, that ain't what I call peer review. I'll tell you what I call peer review is sitting in that pew next to my neighbor and my sister-in-law, and then we listen to the pastor and what he has to say, and we review that in our hearts. That's peer review. That's what I call some peer review right there. Let me ask you this, Mr. Atheist. If you're so smart, where did the universe come from, huh? Because you know and I know that everything that started had to have a beginning. You can't dispute that. That's an irrefutable fact. That fact is irrefutable. Everything that started had to have a beginning. So, how can you say that the universe don't have no God when you know full god dang well that it had to? Because what else could there be at the beginning but God? It don't make no sense. It just don't make no sense. And you got all them scientists with all their facts and all their books. How come their books are any better than my books? That don't make no sense. I mean, I got a whole book of facts right here. All the way from Exodus, all the way through to the end of Revelation. And them's all the facts I need. I tell you everything you need to know right there. And I mean, you don't want to pay too much attention to the beginning bits, because when you get to the end bits, they said that you don't have to worry about the beginning bits no more. So don't worry about like killing your kids and stuff like that. Don't pay no attention to none of them books, but you want to read them anywho, because they do have some truth in there, and you're going to want to understand the underlying history of how we got to where we're at with Christ and the old law, so you can understand the new law, which is love thy neighbor like you love yourself, and that ain't white. And all these atheists are out there saying, you don't have to have that. You don't have to believe the Bible. I said, well, everybody's been believing the Bible for a long time, so if you was just going to stop believing the Bible right now, I think that society would pretty much just fall apart. And I think that's a fact. Because the Bible's been around since the beginning of time. It's the oldest book there is. And God gave it to Adam and Eve when he walked them out of the garden in the beginning, and then they wrote the rest. Without them alone, but they handed it on down, and everybody kept writing as it went. Till it got to Moses, and Moses wrote it all down in a few books. And everybody fucking started going crazy. Now you got people fucking each other in the streets, and then there's people marrying animals, and then pedophiles wanting rights, and everybody's going crazy. You got ISIS cutting off everybody's head. If they just had Jesus in their hearts, then you wouldn't be having all these problems. But no, you got all these atheists out there saying Jesus ain't real. Ain't no evidence of Jesus. There's plenty of evidence of Jesus. Like I said, there's 4 books in here that all tell more or less the same story about Jesus and the facts surrounding his life. And then there's even more books talking about his friends and what happened to them after they fucking went on after Jesus was died. So how are you going to tell me there ain't no evidence of Jesus when it's right there in the fucking Bible? I mean, for fuck's sake, people. It don't make... How fucking ignorant do you gotta be? How ignorant do you gotta be to grow up in America and be a white man in America and have access to the Bible? Even the black folks have access to the Bible. Even they know. Even they know Jesus is real. And you got all these atheists on the internet. They're just ignorant as fuck. They can't understand that the only thing they need to worry about is Jesus. That's the only thing. Now, I'm going to tell you, you ain't got to be a Christian to get into heaven. That's a common misconception. I'm going to tell you right now, you ain't got to be a Christian. What you do have to do is you have to read the Bible. You have to follow the Bible. You have to believe in Jesus Christ. You have to accept Christ into your heart as your Lord and Savior. And you need to get your little ass baptized too. But you don't got to be a Christian. Oh, and you need to go to church and pay tithing too. And then you get to go to heaven. But that don't mean that only Christians go to heaven. Just people that do all them things I said. So, I mean, I hope this has cleared some things up for some of them atheists. I know they're confused, and I get that they don't understand what's going on around them, but they need to get in their Bible again and start reading it up, and then they'll understand. You know, maybe they missed some parts. If any atheists want to get a hold of me, I could read them through some of this Bible and explain some of the parts to them maybe they didn't understand. Maybe they think there's lots of contradictions in here, and there ain't no contradictions in here. There's just God works in mysterious ways and things that people don't understand. So, in conclusion, God is real. The evidence is all around you. I mean, it's in the wind, and it's in the trees, and in a little baby's face. If you ain't never seen a little baby's face, I mean, right there, you take a look at a little baby's face, and you see God right there. You can't deny that. You can't deny that, Mr. Atheist. You fucking can't deny that. You gotta be out of your goddamn mind to deny that a little baby's face don't look like God. And speaking of little baby's face, you put a little baby's face next to a chimpanzee face, and you ain't gonna... How you gonna tell me them two are the same species? Look here. Completely different. You see what I mean? These atheists ain't got a leg to stand on. They ain't got no crocoducts to show as evidence of evolution. They can't explain how something that began didn't start. And they don't have no proof or evidence that atheism is true and correct. They ain't got a dang leg to stand on. And there's a million religions what says God is real, and only one what says they don't. So, checkmate, motherfuckers.